Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Just Believe podcast. I'm your host, HP Mack. Today, I am honored to be with this lovely young lady. I love the work that she's doing, talking about mental health, but not even in a way where it's like, hey, this is mental health, check it out. Like she's talking directly to me, I feel like. As soon as I seen her page, I was like, oh man, this is hitting me right in the heart. Hold on. Who cutting onions, So I love what she's doing. Miss Kellie, how are you? Please tell the
I
people.
am blessed to be here. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Please tell the people what you do. I didn't want to tell everybody everything. This is your life, this is your story, this is your journey. It'd be wrong for me to try to tell it, okay?
Look, yes, trying to live my best life over here. Well, hi everybody. My name is Kellie Poe. I am the founder and the CEO of Black Millennials Mental Health. I'm originally from the Midwest, from St. Louis, Missouri. They call it the show me state. You got to show us to make it real.
Okay.
But then I'm currently living in Houston, Texas, which is where Black Millennials Mental Health is stationed at currently. But we do have members of our team located in different areas like California, Tennessee, Louisiana, in different areas. So, we are trying to be global, trying to move out and, just touch as many people as we can and making mental health a priority for the Black community.
I love it. What was your why to do this?
So why did I start Black Millennials Mental Health? That's a great question. So I started Black Millennials Mental Health back in 2019. But this is something that has been on my heart and been on my path for a while in my life. And when God first placed it on my heart, I was just, I was very anxious. I was just like, what I'm going to do? Like, what I'm going to...
You want me to do what? Yeah.
I'm going to be like a role model. And if you know me and the people around my circle, they know, I'm a very loyal person. But I love to, make sure things are all connected and making sure the show is running well. So, I've never been a person that loves to be in the spotlight a lot. So I think that, when he placed that on my heart, that's why I was so anxious, because I'm like, whoa, you want me to be in what spotlight and where? But it was on my heart. And this is something that developed over time. Starting from Lincoln University in Missouri. I also attended the University of Memphis, and it was a curing there as well. But, it developed over time. But I started Black Millennials Mental Health to try to create safe spaces for Black women, Black men, from any type of socioeconomic status, sexuality, anything, any type of background. We all were raised different as Black people. Yeah. So, making sure that it's culturally inclusive for every type of Black person, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Being a young Black man, I struggle with my emotions, right? Because I was always taught to just hide them and, don't be weak, you can't act like a girl, quote unquote, type of thing. And the older I got, I was like, man, this is the dumbest thing ever. This is by far the dumbest thing ever, because it's not like I'm just a man, I'm human. And as human, we have to release certain things. We have to release those emotions. You keep them bottled up, you self-destruct. And I did, I was slowly losing HB Mack. I didn't know who I was. I was numb to the world. And what you're doing, I think it's fabulous to have a safe haven. Now with social media being pretty much our everything now, you can find and connect with people where, man, hey, they're not in Houston. I'm not in Houston, but I can visit, I can connect with you, I can follow you, and maybe we can set up a Zoom and I can sit there and talk to you and vent. And maybe you can give me some advice, or maybe you might give me some guidance to that person to really help me. Like, hey, look, you actually need some more help, but it's perfectly fine. A lot of people are scared to go to therapists and counseling, right? I wasn't. I was just broke. I ain't gonna front. Like I was just broke.
It's like that's time, I don't have insurance unless you know
Yeah.
have a solidified job or like in school or something. Insurance is definitely
Yeah,
expensive.
it's key, and like the one therapist that I was like, man, I think they might work for me. My insurance didn't take it. So it was just like, oh, okay. All right. How much do you want per hour? 250. Right. I'm just gonna go to Walmart and try to figure some stuff out and do it on my own, which I did. I was able to, write, color, exercise, do the positive stuff. But not only that, realizing like, okay, I didn't have a chemical imbalance. I just had I need to learn how to cope balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think
because
what you,
so suppressed,
yeah.
for so.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And even now, during these times, with the pandemic still going on, I thought it was wonderful. At least the therapists and the counselors that I was following,
Mm-hmm.
they was offering for about 2 months of free services.
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
like, oh my goodness, like this is perfect. Like, if this is your moment of opportunity to try to work on yourself,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was amazing as well. A lot of us definitely teamed up and even trying to offer like relaxation techniques, hosting like meditation sessions and things of that nature. Just because we know, it's being inside and being confined is already, not healthy. We're supposed to have that contact, but as well as people that do suffer from mental health, mental illness, and just kind of being in an isolated state. Most time things are turned internal. So, we're beating ourselves up. We're going into that depression. We are feeling not like ourselves, and in the whole. And so it was really, really important for us to, be able to step in and share those techniques while the pandemic is going on and while we're trying to adjust. I won't say try to make it the new norm
Yeah.
because
It's still adjusting. Yeah.
it's adjusting.
Still
And
adjusting. So I have a couple of questions.
okay.
So in the beginning of doing this, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna do this Black, millennial mental health thing. How was that process? Was it just, okay, I'm gonna just be that voice and just show some people some techniques, or I'm gonna team up with people who are licensed and we're gonna do this together, not just try to be the the architect of it?
Most definitely, most definitely. So creating Black Millennials Mental Health, I always had the vision of having a team of people in different areas, just so we can have more feet on the ground to try to, break the stigma of mental illness within the Black community. So, starting off, it was just me connecting with other specialists, whether that be in social work field or psychology field, sometimes engineering field, the law field, just trying to connect and network, because mental illness, it doesn't discriminate.
No.
If you have it, then if you suffer from it, then the struggles, and how it can be trying to explain to other people, how you're feeling and things like that, and they're not understanding. So, just starting off, it was a bunch of networking and connecting. But as we are going, we're building our team and trying to actually get more men on our team, just so we can start, allowing them to be role models in mental health, for the community, because that's something, as you spoke about, that, just taught throughout the generations, just expressing your feelings and, not, I'm sorry, I digress. It just reminded me of a situation I had at a volunteer site. So I was volunteering with some sixth grade Black boys. And they were having some like conduct issues and things of that nature, which is why they were in the program. But, I'm a researcher, so I like to dig and find out.
Yeah.
So they were eventually just kind of having some intellectual issues and things of that nature, which caused them to cause it to seem like a conduct issue. But it was just really, that they were kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was talking to them, and, you know, one of them was like, I can't cry, you know, that'll make me look weak. Like, I can't do that. And so, you know, we started talking about it, and you know, why and why he had that idea and where it came from and things of that nature. And, you know, by the end of the conversation, he was very bright.
Yeah.
By the conversation, you know, he understood that, you know, us as humans, and not just as men and not just as women or not just as kids or adults, you know, we all have feelings that we need to release, that catharsis, you know, we need it in order for mental growth, personal growth, you know. So I think that that's a really, really, really important subject, and really important that, you know, essential that you are telling your story and sharing your story with the world, because, you know, that's something that has been going on for too long. Honestly, it's just,
yeah, you get that. Back in my day, a man did this and a man did that, you know, and it's like, okay, but times evolve.
yes,
You know? We have more research and knowledge at our hands than ever, you know, because, like, you know, if you say in the 70s, the internet is not what it is now. There's no internet, you know. It was like, hey, you know, you're trying to figure it out. But now we have the research, and now we have access to learn and reading, right? Because of the years and times. I did like last year, I'm not saying this like to brag, but I read over 117 books, right? Because, like, now, you know, I'm doing this. Thank you. I'm doing this mental health, right? Talking, being this advocate, but now I'm not only just being an advocate, I'm being a mental health coach. So for me, doing the whole life coach thing and approaching it, and understanding how to identify okay, you actually need to see a specialist, but it's okay. Like, you have to see a therapist, but it's okay. I'm still going to support you. Don't look at it as a weakness. It's something that, like, hey, we all need a little support, you know? And that's how you have to look at it, trying to break the stigma of that, and learning. It's crazy that you said
I agree.
a 6th grade, like, but it shows you that it's still there. The man thing is still there. It hurts my heart, you know.
Yeah, it hurt my heart too. That's why I was like, okay, wait, let's talk about this. You know, I'll make, you know, fun, and I'll get down to their level and stuff like that. Because kids are the future. You know, this is the next generation, you know. So I think that it's important, you know, as far as like mentorship, you know, with mental health awareness and breaking those stigmas. Because I feel like if we, you know, start working on it then while they're young, you know, it'll be harder for someone to, you know, tell them that, you know, suppressing their feelings is okay. And no, you know, you don't have to be okay showing up in this space just the way you are. You know, so I think that that's important to, you know, allow them to feel empowered, you know, as they're growing up, you know, to be, they're going to be adults.
Yeah, they're going to be adults.
And I think a lot of people forget that kids grow up into adults.
Oh yeah. Oh man. When I started telling my story, like, you know, some of the guys reached out to me, right? And they're like, man, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I always felt like this and this and that. And they're older, right? Like some of them are like 47, 48, right? Like damn near 50. And they're like, man, I wish I was brave as you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, just expressing my emotions. Like, you know, because of that generational, hey, be strong, whatever, you know. And I'm like, you can't express your emotions. You just have to learn how to, right? And they're like, you know, hey, but, you know, I'm married, I have kids. And I'm like, okay, but people change. It's not going to happen overnight. Right. If you want to change, you have to, you got to put on those gloves and those boots and get dirty, you know, and it takes time. I was able to help one guy out, and we just like weekly checking in, and, you know, he was like, thanks, my marriage is the best it's ever been. Now I'm able to communicate in a way with my wife, which I couldn't communicate before, because she did things that triggered his past, and he would, like, you know, fold. And he didn't know how to express, hey, this is bringing up my past. Because, you know, he's trying to, no, I got it. It's just, you know, I'm not mad. Yeah, I got this. And doing that, I think, was like, oh, good, you know. And that's when I was like, I might be down the right field with this, you know. I might be on the right calling. And I was just like, well, let me just keep on going. And let me just keep on learning and reading and trying to communicate to people. And this guy, he doesn't even, he's an older white guy, you know, and I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. Like, you know, I was able to help him, but you
Yeah.
figured since he's older, the you know, the wisdom he would pass to me, not the other way around. But either way, it was good to help out him and hopefully to break that generational curse.
That is amazing. That is awesome that you were able to help, you know, him even at his age.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important that I like that you pointed that out, you know, because that's one of the main key points that we try to do here is connecting generations through mental health awareness. A lot of the older generations are kind of forgotten, you know, when it comes to the mental health and mental illness thing, because, you know, I mean, just up to 10 years ago, a lot of the diagnoses that we are looking at right now, you know, they didn't even exist. And so, you know, as you were saying, you know, just talking to them and them not being able to express, you know, how they felt and wanting to, you know, having that urge to want to. I think that that's just incredible that you were able to stand in that space and you know, just be the voice to help them. It's okay, you know.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, it's okay, man. Don't be mad. It's fine. Like, even like what I really want to reach out to you is to, like, man, how can we do this together, right? Because I, like, as I said, like, off the record, for one man to think I can tackle mental health or I can help out everyone is ridiculous. Because, like, sometimes we may, like, it might be somebody that I know that I like, hey, I want to work with you, but I know personally, hey, this ain't this not a good fit. Check out my homegirl Kellie.
Yeah.
She's gonna talk to you in language where you're gonna get, like, yeah, I speak your language, but I don't speak it that fluent. Go to somebody who speak it that fluent. Like, I'm getting the bits and pieces, and people don't understand that. I try to express the importance of the language, and I'm not saying it's a certain code. It's just how we communicate and how we hear things and receive things.
That's and I completely agree. You know, and sometimes, you know, we, even us, you know, this is not our first time trying to work together.
Yes.
But we were patient, you know, with each other, and everything happens in its perfect timing. You know, when this podcast does air, you know, this is going to be the perfect message for someone. You know, it may not have been that time for them about, you know, a month ago or when we were first trying to work together. They may have not have, you know, received it, or may not been ready to be open for the message. So I think that, you know, it's important to be patient when you are trying to build allies. It's important to practice patience when we're trying to break and dismantle this stigma together, because this is something that has been around in our culture for a long time. Probably before slavery. Like, slavery, you know, that whole era, you know, definitely heightened it and just created more, you know, more of the stigmas and things around it. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to, you know, dismantle this thing. But together, you know, by working together, we can do it together. It's going to be easier together.
Yeah, no, it's definitely easier together. Even when you, like, look at slavery back in the days, or even when you look at, like, the early 1960s to the 70s, it wasn't a one man. People thinking, you know, Martin Luther King did it all by himself. It was like, no, he had a beautiful team behind him that helped him. Malcolm X had a beautiful team until he realized his team betrayed him. But that's a whole different topic. But it was a team effort. Even, like, you look at the Black Panther Party, right? Like, they had a team effort. Look how they impacted the community in Oakland. It wasn't just a bunch of guys walking around crazy. Hey, look, we know we need a food program for the kids. The kids need, you know, food before they go to school. Let's create this. And it's a type of thing. People look at some of the highlights of other people's lives, especially in the past, and like, oh, but this was negative, this is negative. And it's like, not everything is negative. When you do it as a team, you get some positive stuff done. Now you have to ruffle a couple of feathers, but it's okay. Like, that's how you make progress. We only ruffle feathers when someone is not listening. Right? You hear us, but you're not understanding our pain and what we're going through. That's the whole point of it. You know, I tell people that all the time. You know, I love looking back at the history and seeing how people evolve. I don't have a role model, right? my role model is someone that I read about, Malcolm X, right? And people
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, he's so militant. I'm like, Malcolm Little was a hustler, like a
Yes. Oh,
hustler trying to
Malcolm.
like get in all of it. But I'm like, to watch a man evolve and change and shift, it shows
Yes.
that anyone can do that.
Mhm.
We don't give that part credit. We just look at the Muslim part and the radical part and not looking at the
Exactly.
part of a growth. I just had to get that out. But
Brother,
no.
oh no, get that out. I love Brother Malcolm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
I am.
listening to the new audiobook that just came out. Lawrence Fishburne is narrating, and it's beautiful. It gives me chills all the
I
time.
gotta check it out. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay.
But you know, I bring that up, right? Because I know some of my
Mhm.
followers is like, yeah, I thought this was about mental health and not the, you know, I bring that up because
We
it's
enjoy
important that
ourselves.
you understand that you can evolve, though. You know, um, I was in a
Yes.
dark place in my life where I tried to harm myself many times,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I couldn't evolve, but I had to learn how to love myself and be patient with myself and go through that hurt to evolve.
Yes.
Whoever's listening to this, it's like you're going through this not because, you know, you did something wrong. It's just the universe is telling you, you know, if you believe in God, it's God telling you, hey, it's time for you to evolve. And you can't
Yes.
evolve if you're not willing to participate in, hey, get the proper help, learn these methods, reach out to some people, whether it's me, whether it's Kelly, reach out to them and get the guidance and help you change your life in a way where you can't imagine. 5 years ago, I'm trying to figure out if I want to live or not. You know what I mean? Now, this is like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, I'm connecting with someone who looks like me, and we're talking about mental health. I've never seen a Black woman publicly say, hey, yeah, mental health, don't worry, I got it. I got it. I'm stepping up to the plate. I'm stepping up to the community. That's why I was like, man, this is who cutting onions. You know, I'm trying not to cry. I'm holding back, you know.
Oh. Hey, look, that's it. I think that it's beautiful, you know, that you can acknowledge that, you know, the power within your growth, and your, you know, your just your willingness. And I tell people, you know, this sometimes too, you know, you can't have one without the other.
Correct.
The person that you used to be, you can't have, you know, who you are now without them. It's one and the same. And it, you know, you have to be able to be ready to accept that past person, you know,
Mm-hmm.
with the good, the dark, the bad. You know, it's all a part of you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all of,
Learn how to use that struggle, that pain as part of your story.
yes,
Yeah.
your motivation, most
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. Well, you know, I got to get down into the nitty gritty and about your beautiful organization. Please
Yes.
talk about it. I know somebody's probably listening like, okay, look, man, this is dope, but I want to know more about what she does and what she do and all that. So go ahead.
Most definitely, most definitely. And I'll definitely open up too. So I come from a family that struggled with major depression. So, you know, growing up around that and having to, you know, just be exposed to that definitely was a lot of motivation for me to, you know, enter this field. I've always had like a passion for caring for people, sharing information. But mental health is very personal to me, just because of that. You know, I grew up around it. It's rooted in my family. If you study anything that's around mental health, you know, statistics say that, you know, it is genetic. It can possibly run through your
Mm-hmm.
family. You know, if your dad or your mom has bipolar disorder, it's like a 50% chance of you
That you
having
can get it.
that
Yep.
same. Yeah. So, you know, I'm no shy away from you know, mental illness or, you know, being familiar with it, living with it, understanding it. There's been times of my life, you know, that I've dealt with, you know, situational depression, you know, anxiety, just like I talked about earlier. But, you know, I have learned how to heal from it. I've received my own therapy, and I recommend it for anybody.
Everyone. I do too.
Because even just like the post that we made the other day, you know, trauma is not all about what happened. It's also about what did not happen, the conversations that did not happen, the healing that did not happen. And it's okay, you know, it's okay to be in that space to feel like, hey, this is not okay. This is not, you know, getting addressed. I'm not, you know, healing from this. This is hurting me. You know, it's okay to be in that moment and feel in that moment. You're not alone. And we are definitely here to let you know that you're not alone experiencing this. And so going through that, and having different family members, different friends that are experiencing mental illness. Of course, I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and becoming a licensed mental health marriage and family counselor. Thank you.
Gotta give you your roses while you can still smell them, okay?
I appreciate that. It's amazing, and it's an honor for me to just be in the space to be able to help people, to be able to heal from their past. And similar to your story, I have a sister that passed away when I was younger. She passed away when she was 4 and I was 5. So that dealing with that childhood trauma is essential to just growing and to walk in your purpose.
Yeah,
that's something I definitely wanted to let you know. I think that you're doing walking.
Thank you.
It's hard though. It's hard. It's a challenging thing. It wasn't an easy road to get there. But I definitely want to applaud you for walking in your purpose. And that's something I feel like, that I'm finally able to do now. After healing, after, being able to help others and really see, the struggle that people are going through, is the big push behind Black Millennials Mental Health. I grew up in the hood, y'all. Like
We're the same. We're the same.
Look, all the hood stuff, okay? Yeah. But it's the most of it. So, I'm like I said, I definitely here to, be able to relate on so many different issues from mental health in so many different life situations. So, it's not easy to walk in, the motivation to want to heal, to want to be a better person. But here, at Black Millennials Mental Health, we try to not make it traditional. Even from, how we title our services, like we're not traditional therapy services. We offer life coaching, we also offer like educational coaching, family coaching, different things. So it's just not, one type of traditional, I'm going to go see a therapist type of thing. It's very non-traditional, to suit our community, and trying to help dismantle that, that crazy and, therapy type of stigma. So, that's really, really important to us here.
Yeah, no, I love it. That's why I was like, oh man, I have to at some point reach out and hopefully we can collab. And, as you said, I think it's all about timing. Like, maybe
Yes.
we would have did it and it would have been as great as it is now, where we can actually like engage into a conversation. Like I like doing lives, don't get me wrong, but sometimes the lives can get overwhelming. For me with the comments, I always get that one person, like when somebody's articulating something, you get that one person, hey, how you doing? Hey, don't forget to call me. And it's like, dude, this ain't the time.
Right. I'm trying to focus on this.
I'm trying to tell my story. I'm trying to get this information out. This ain't the time, man. Hey, did you like those cookies I sent you? You always get something crazy. Dude, all right, chill out, chill out. But yes, no, I love it. I love the fact that it's not traditional, right? Because being from the hood, you have to know how to talk the lingo. If you're going to talk to me traditional, hey, look, I already checked out, bro.
Yep.
But if you break it down to a way where I can digest it, hey, you got my interest. Look, keep going. I think for me, learning that I'm the bridge, right? It took me probably the pandemic to understand, wait, why am I getting all these therapists, counselors, and psychiatrists following me? And then some of them are reaching out to me, right? And they're like, hey, what school are you in, man? Yo, it's a good school. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? And like, no, the language that you're talking our language, but you're also talking in a language where our clients receive it. Like, I wish that someone, like, I wish I had the ability to do what you're doing. And I'm like, I didn't, when you're in it, you don't realize it. And I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm flattered. Instead of like, I'm not going to be selfish. Okay, cool. Teach me the proper terms. And I'm going to digest it the way that I can, and I'm going to release it to the public. And that's been helping the gap in the communication with my followers, right? Like
Mhm.
I do a like a weekly wellness video for
Mhm.
a nonprofit organization out in Canada, right?
Oh,
And
uh,
I just do a weekly, tips, right?
yeah.
And they love it because it's like, hey man, you're doing like the basic things. And I'm like, yeah, you'd be amazed what the basic things can do. They can save your life.
Yes, they
Basic
can.
things save my life.
Yes.
I give out tips of like writing, coloring, breaking up patterns, right? Because we are creatures of habits.
Yes, we are.
Repeating the same pattern again and again and expect the
Yep.
outcome is called
Expecting
insanity. you know, so I learned
insane.
that I had to break patterns as far as like coloring, writing, exercising, hell, playing video games, having game nights with my friends, doing other things to express my pain and my emotions to help me.
Mm.
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Okay, cool. And they're like, hey, can you do more? Can you do more? And I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm doing a lot right now.
Look, right?
I'm doing a lot right now. Once a week is cool with me,
Yeah.
but like, but I say that because some of the basic things that we don't realize as basics can help someone.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Just I mean, for example, simply learning how to, breathe um correctly. And it sounds like absurd. It's like, wait, I breathe every day. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still alive. I'm breathing right now.
Yeah.
But breathing to heal.
Yes.
It's a whole entire technique to it. Different people offer different techniques, but just learning how to breathe and how it opens up space in your mind, for more learning, for more retaining, for more healing. Opens up your lungs to be able to get more air in there, and just doing different things to send it to your body. Oxygen. That's how we live. So
That's how we live.
it,
Yep.
it it seems like it's a simple, quality and element, like you said, but it does so much for your body.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that you brought that up too. Like, physical health is just as important as mental health. They go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Our brain is connected to our like all of it. Like a lot of things that we learned when we were kids, like they still apply, and they can still apply to our mental health. Being nice to others, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at
Don't
all,
say it at all. Yep.
And that's not even so much to help another person. That's, for helping you, and making sure that you're having a positive mindset and doing things that you need to do for you. So I think that, I definitely agree. Some of those simple things, and I love color, and I love that as a technique as
Oh,
well.
by far
Uh,
one of my favorite things. I sit
yeah.
down, I play some like because I said creatures habit, like I won't play rap music because
Mhm.
I listen to it. I listen to hip hop all day, so it's like
Right.
fine. Like okay, I might play some like mental that not what do they call that type of music, like calm,
Oh
relaxing.
yeah.
It's like yeah, I
Oh
play
yeah.
that and I'll just go in. I'm gonna make these colors pop today.
Okay.
you know, and I just go in and it helps out so much. But no, all right, unfortunately, we have to go. But please tell the people where to find you at.
Our time went so fast.
So
So
fast. yes.
so if you guys are looking to find us and follow us, first I want to let you guys know about our free consultations. And this is something that'll kind of be on our website as well. We do offer free mental health consultations, and they're not just 10 minutes, they're not just 30, but they're an hour. Within that hour, we're getting to know you. We're getting to know exactly what your symptoms that you have been experiencing, and seeing if you want to stay with us, to give you services and start your journey off, or if we can refer you out to somebody that you need services and that can take care of you as well. So I definitely wanted to let you guys know about that. We do have those free consultations. We are on every single platform with the same name, Black Millennials Mental Health. And we are also, we have our website, www.bmmh.org. We have all of our events on there, our services. We also offer some mental health apparel. As you guys can see, I have my hat on today. But we also offer just regular information about mental health as well, and some different classes and things that you guys can offer and check out. So please, please, please check those resources out and make mental health a priority in your life. If it's not for you, And you know somebody else that is struggling with mental health or just struggling with anything that they don't feel like they, are ready to come up about, or they may not have anybody to talk to about, please send them our way. We will definitely hook them up with some resources and meet them where they are. We're not here to, force anything. We're definitely trying to meet you where you are to help you become a healthier you.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for being on. This was wonderful, Kelly. We have to
Yeah,
do this again. I
we
had a great
definitely.
time. I'm like, man, look how long this. It's already been like 40 minutes. Wow.
Oh my God. We
Yes,
need more time.
I
Yeah, so
know.
we have to do it again for sure.
Yes, we will. And everything that she said is going to be in the description below. And thank you once again.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.